Hey guys, and welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. Alright, so once again we have another Memory of Chaos Floor 10 gameplay video. This season was quite interesting because Floor 10 actually, in my opinion, was easier than Floor 9. It actually took me more cycles to clear Floor 9 because that's where they ended up putting the Clock Maiden and Kafka. They basically swapped the previous season's Floor 10 to Floor 9, and then they added Yang Qing to Floor 10 this time around. This season's Turbulence is actually quite interesting as well. It spawns a Trotter at the beginning of each cycle, and if you're able to kill it, it actually grants you 2 skill points. And it takes increased damage from basic attacks and DOT, so if you're playing Imbibitor Lunane or Kafka, this definitely benefits you. And I guess Blade to a certain degree, although his skill point consumption is very low, so probably not. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay for this season of Memory of Chaos. Okay, so we start out the first match with Silverwolf's Technique. And for this team, I'm running Zile, Silverwolf, Natasha, and March 7th. I did try to run a team with only Natasha as the solo sustainer. Let's just say that didn't go really well. And for this particular fight, I'm trying to focus down the fish first, because they are actually quite annoying. The defense debuff that the defense down debuff that they apply can really add up, and it'll actually end up being very detrimental for your team. So I want to try and take those two out first, the two fish, before we start focusing down the main boss, which is, I believe that's called the Ascended or something. It's a relatively new enemy that was introduced a couple patches ago, or I think it was the last patch actually. Alright, so we freeze all of them with March's ultimate. And there's the little Trotter at the edge there. We're actually going to ignore the Trotters because they only take increased damage from basic attacks and DOTs. And I don't have any of those currently on my team. Zile mostly uses her skill for the damage.
Don't mess with me.
And actually, surprisingly enough, by the end of this wave or fight, if you kill off the main enemy, and there are any Trotters left over, you'll actually still get the skill points that the Trotters give to you after you defeat them. So that's just a little tip or trick for you guys that are trying to kill off the Trotters. You actually don't need to unless you need the skill points at the moment, or if you're running a character that does a lot of damage with their basic attack or DOT like Imbibitor Lunane and Kafka. Alright, here I'm checking to see what kind of debuffs the Ascended boss has. Currently, I think she still has the defense debuffs, so now I'm trying to make a choice. Do I want to hit the Ascended target or this guy? I think I hit that guy because I wanted to keep the fish alive, so Zile can get her resurgence buff here. Surely. Yeah, and the fish ends up living anyways. Silverwolf very close to dying here, but I'm not panicking because we have Natasha who can heal her coming up. Here's Zile. I just basic attack because I don't want to waste a skill point. There's the resurgence buff. We also break for quantum damage, and there's the heal. End up basic attacking instead of shielding either Zile or Silverwolf. Here, I think I'm checking for the Quantum Weakness turn cooldown. Yeah, and I saw that it only had 1 turn left, so I just decided to go ahead and reapply the Quantum Weakness onto the Ascended target. Here's Zile's ultimate. Does not crit, so it only does 33k damage. Yeah, my Zile only has around 61% crit rate, but she has near 180 crit damage, so whenever she lands a crit, it does a lot of damage, but when she misses the crit, her damage can be quite underwhelming, unfortunately. And you'll see here shortly, after we kill off the Ascended, the remaining Trotters actually end up giving us the 2 extra skill points. So, just a little trick, you don't have to kill off the Trotters near the end of the wave. Alright, so for this second wave, we have the Ascended and a Silvermane Guard. think we try to focus down the Silvermane guard first here. Whenever he enters that guard state, I usually switch targets or let my March or Natasha tank the counterattack hit, obviously with March 7 shield. So here we decide to heal March and cleanse one of her wind shears. I need to shield up. Actually, no, that's fine. I was gonna say, I probably should have shielded Silverwolf, but I end up using Natasha's ultimate anyways. Probably was still correct to shield Silverwolf.
Can I have fun this time?
Sweet, as you can see, we are focusing the Silvermane guard. I just end up healing Silverwolf instead. Shield up March 7 for herself, and cast her ultimate. Alright, he's going to enter that guard state where he counters, so we're not going to be hitting him with Zealot and Silverwolf. I was checking to see if he had a defense shred debuff. Not the bug one from Silverwolf, but the one from her ultimate. He didn't have one, so we ended up just not focusing him down. And here we take the counterattack with March. Barely scratches her shield, and now we can focus on the Silvermane guard. Unfortunately here, so I applied the defense shred onto the Ascended, but I was expecting to at least kill the Silvermane guard with Zealot's skill. I don't think that skill actually crit, or at least it didn't do enough damage or crit enough, so he's still alive unfortunately. Here I'm deciding who I should focus. Decide to focus down the Silvermane guard. And what's disappointing is even this skill did not kill. That was even a quantum weakness break skill, and it still didn't kill off the Silvermane guard. So that was quite disappointing. I'm pretty sure I missed some of the crucial crits there. Because normally my Zealot's skill is doing around 20 to 30k if it crits properly. So we weren't able to get the Resurgence buff, unfortunately. However, this ultimate does crit, hitting for over 100k, so that does help out a bit. See, that skill right there did 47k, although that was on a defense broken target. So if you take a little bit of damage off of that, it should be around 20 to 25k. So this run was at least the first half was a lot slower than a normal run. I did a couple runs before, maybe like 3 or 4. And I usually completed it within like 4 to 5 cycles. It took us 6 cycles to complete this one. And that is the first half. Second half, we do 2 Tingyoung techniques. Bailu technique, I actually misclicked and did it twice here, but it's okay. And then we start the fight off with Danhung in Bailunane's technique. Immediately smash the 2 key to get Tingyoung's ultimate off before it's her turn. We buff Danny Boy there. Dragon Danny Boy. And then we decide to break this little... I don't know what that is. It's like a little orb sphere thing. Little orb robot. And here I decide to go for the Centaur to my right. Now we're going to be focusing him down first. Here I'm deciding, should I hit the Warp Trotter? Or Trotter? I decide to end up just hitting the Trotter because I figured... we probably might need the extra skill points later on in the fight. Here we just hit the orb again. We save the ultimate until the 2 centaurs take their turn. And then these centaurs actually hit quite hard. It's actually so funny. My Bailu has so much effect resist. I think she has like 66 or 67 effect resist that she actually doesn't even get CC'd by the Centaur's hit there. See how it CC'd my Danhung, but it never CC'd my Bailu, she just straight up resisted it. And Danhung actually has pretty high effect resist as well. He has, I think, like around 30 for the stat, and then he has a major trace that straight up just gives him a certain amount of resistance against crowd control effects, but he's still got hit there. Alright, he's out of the CC effect. Tingyoung here just to give him the damage boost and the energy regeneration. And like I said, we're going to focus down the Centaur to the right. And weakness break him. 200k damage. That is not too shabby for a free-to-play Dan Hung. Although he is at Eidolon 1, but he doesn't have his signature Lyco. He's using On the Fall of a Neon. Basically, I'll show you guys the gear after the footage here. So the Centaur to the right is almost dead. That little orb dies. And now I believe we swap targets to... Oh no, we still hit this one, but for sure, when it's Dan Hung's turn, I'm going to focus the Centaur to the left. Apply the defense shred. This one hit for 141k, not bad. Kill the Centaur to the right. Got two little trotters trembling there. Top off Pela to full HP. Alright, we're going to use up 3 skill points, but it doesn't really matter because we actually get 6 skill points since skill point overcap. But that's more than enough. We start off the fight with Yang Qing at 5 skill points and Pela's ultimate for the defense shred. Yang Qing's actually really fast. He actually moved before my Dan Hung even got his turn, so all his weaknesses are removed with his swords. And I don't exactly understand his sword mechanic. All I know is he loses his weaknesses, and his swords all have, like, random weaknesses that Yang Qing has. Basically, since I have Dan Hung, I'm just brute forcing this at this point. Because once you destroy all of his swords, Yang Qing just returns to normal, and his weaknesses are reapplied. So, I mean, it's Imbiber Lunane. He does a 3-hit blast. His swords are pretty much done or destroyed within 2 turns. So it's not that big of an issue for anyone who has Imbiber Lunane or Blade. Blade could probably do the exact same thing. Actually, now that I think about it, he's also weak to lightning. Kafka could probably do pretty well against Yang Qing as well. And his damage isn't too strong until you'll see in a moment, he has a charging state or a charging attack where he actually, that attack does a lot of damage. So we broke all his swords and we chained the ultimate on top of that for a lot of damage. He's at less than 50% HP now. I think I saved the ultimate here until it's Yang Qing's turn again. And he's going to enter the charge. Okay, here you go. That's his charging state. Now we use Pela's ultimate. Once he's done with the charging state, that's when he's going to do a lot of AoE damage to your entire team. So I'm making sure everyone's topped up here. It does a lot of damage, but it doesn't quite one-shot. So everyone's pretty much at full except for Bailu. She's tanky enough. And as you can see here, it does a good chunk of everyone's HP. Luckily, I have Bailu's ultimate to top everyone off. She also has the revive in case something terrible happens, like Pela or Tingyoung gets one-shotted. But luckily that didn't happen. I use Pela's skill here because I figured it should be enough to generate her ultimate again for another defense shred or just to refresh the debuff. And now it's going to be Dan Hung's turn for the level 3 enhanced basic attack, followed by the ultimate to eventually finish off Yang Qing. And there you have it. Finished the entire MOC run in 19 cycles. Alright, now let me go over my characters, their stats, and their gear really quickly. This is my Dan Hung Imbiber Lunane. These are his stats. His light cone, superimposed to level 5 on the Fall of a Neon. Traces, relics, I don't have the preferred set or best in slot set, so I'm just giving him pretty decent gear. I would like this to be a crit damage body piece, but I don't have one that is good enough or even built at the moment. And his Eidolons, he's at Eidolon 1. I will be pulling for his Eidolon 2 on his rerun banner, or I might try and get lucky near the end of his current banner. I might do like 1 or 2 10 pulls to see if I get lucky, but I'm not going to count on that. Next is Bailu. Oh wow, she's actually almost at level 75. Just a few more mobs and she'll be able to level up. These are her stats. Like I said before, she has 66% effect resist. That was why she was able to resist that crowd control effect from that centaur earlier. This is her light cone, and this is where a large portion of her effect resist comes from. The perfect timing. These are her traces, relics, no Eidolons for Bailu. Not that her Eidolons are even good. Okay, next we have Tingyoung. These are her stats. A very fast Tingyoung. I got quite lucky with some of her pieces. The substats all rolled into speed. Light Cone is Dance, Dance, Dance at Superimposition 2. These are her traces. Probably going to need more investment, but I'm waiting for the rate up event or double drop event. These are her relics. This is the main piece that's giving her all the speed. 9 speed. Quite good. This one's got 4. This one has no speed, but it's a bad piece. Just a temporary slot holder as for now. These are temporary. Oh no, this is probably a permanent piece. This is also a temporary piece as well. Eidolon, she's at Eidolon 0, unfortunately. Okay, moving on to my Silver Wolf. These are her stats. She lost a bit of effect hit rate because I gave her, I think, a new link rope that doesn't have any effect hit rate in her substats, but 90 is usually good enough for her to land her bugs. It's probably just a little bit off. This is our light cone, of course. Traces. Relics. Need a better body piece that has effect hit rate. Probably a better quantum sphere as well. And it's the link rope. I had a +9 link rope on her before that had a little bit of effect hit rate, but I figured this one just has better stats overall, and it's already at +15. So it'll give her overall just a more of a damage boost, and at the cost of, what, 5% effect hit rate. It's fine. As for Eidolon, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, now on to Zile. She hasn't changed much. Like I said, I kind of wish she had a little bit more crit rate, at least 70%. Her crit damage is quite insane, however. Yeah, that's her only issue right now, is the moderate crit rate. I can't even say it's low because some people are struggling to even get 50% crit rate on the characters. But yeah, this one's her light cone. These are her traces. Relics. Near maxed out. It's literally just min-maxing at this point. Yeah, a lot of her pieces rolled on the crit damage rather than crit rate. This one's pretty good. Her boots had potential, but I'm just so salty about those defense rolls, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have very similar experiences with relics. She's at Eidolon 0. Alright, now skipping to my Natasha, who cannot solo sustain, unfortunately, but I mean, I'm probably going to replace her once I get Fushren or Lynx, one or the other. These are her stats. Her light cone. Traces. Relics. And she's at Eidolon 3. Alright, now it's time for March. These are her stats. Light cone, she's using Moment of Victory. Her traces, low investment other than her skill. Relics, pretty much the same for the last couple of months. I haven't grinded for March 7th gear or Fire Trailblazer gear for the longest time. They're usually tanky enough to help sustain my team. Along with a healer, that is. And of course, you guys already know, she's at Eidolon 6. Probably, actually, she's at Eidolon 13, if we could go past the 6th Eidolon. And last but not least, we have Pela. These are her stats. Light Cone, she's just using Serval's Light Cone for the time being. I actually ended up using Serval, but not for floor 10, rather for floor 9. And she did perform alright. Maybe not up to my standard, but we did end up clearing floor 9 within the time limit or turn limit. So, I guess not bad. But this is just a temporary Light Cone for her. Eventually, I'm probably going to build up this Sweat Light Cone for the Defense Shred, but as of now, I'm trying to save resources. These are her traces. Relics. Yeah, I'm running a Defense Orb because Pela doesn't do any damage, I just want her to survive, so I just gave her one of my Defense Orbs rather than ice damage. Eidolon, she's at Eidolon 2. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for this Honkai Star Rail video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next Honkai Star Rail video. Peace.